Modred, a powerful mage, begins a war against humans in order to establish the rule of mages over the world. In this war, he uses his magical powers to defeat all the human kingdoms one by one. To win the war, he uses his magical powers, many magical weapons, and mystical monsters. Eventually, the monsters face off against Uther Pendragon, who possesses a magical sword. To protect his kingdom, Uther enters Modred's camp with his magical sword, Excalibur. Modred's magic is unable to stop Uther, who kills him and ends the war. The scene shifts, showing Uther heading back to the palace. But his brother, Vortigern, driven by a desire to become king, rebels against Uther and plots to kill him. However, he knows that as long as Uther has the sword Excalibur, he cannot defeat him. To achieve his goal, Vortigern sends his own men to attack Uther and sacrifices his own wife to a terrifying monster named Siren in an effort to defeat him. Uther senses the conspiracy and tries to escape with his wife and infant son, Arthur. He places his wife on a boat, but a dark magical night attacks, resulting in her death. Uther places Arthur on the boat and stays behind to fight the night. The next scene shows Arthur's boat drifting to Londinium, where some prostitutes find and take him. The scene shifts again to Vortigern, who has now become king and is reclaiming the magic tower, the very one from which Modred had gained power. Now, Vortigern wants to gain power from it himself. We are told that Vortigern has ruled for 20 years, and during this time, it is revealed that he is a powerful yet cruel and tyrannical king. Meanwhile, Arthur grows up among the prostitutes. He becomes a good fighter but also has many flaws, like engaging in illegal activities and theft for revenge. Yet, he is very clever. Vortigern's magic tower is completed, and suddenly, the waters at the port of Camelot dry up, revealing the Excalibur sword embedded in a large stone. Many try to pull it out but fail. Even Vortigern fails, proving that Arthur is still alive, because by right, the sword belongs to him after Uther's death. To find Arthur, Vortigern orders that people from all over be brought to try pulling the sword. The scene returns to Arthur, who is seen mistreating Lucy sent by the Vikings. Arthur fights them, and they capture him, placing him on the ship to Camelot. Among the others, Arthur pulls the sword, though he doesn't know what it is. When he touches it, Excalibur activates, and Arthur feels its power, while the sword also responds to him. People rejoice and start speaking out against Vortigern. On the day of execution, Arthur is given the sword to demonstrate his power before the people, but he refuses to save his friends, and the order is given for his execution. At that moment, Bedivere and Mage arrive. Mage uses her magic to control animals and has them attack the knights, successfully rescuing Arthur. Bedivere takes Arthur to a secret place and tells him he must reclaim his kingdom to help the people. But Arthur has no interest in being king and refuses to help. They don't let him leave, so he lifts Excalibur to scare them, but once again loses consciousness due to the sword's overwhelming power. Mage then casts a spell on the sword to check why Excalibur is registering Arthur. Arthur learns that he remembers nothing about his past, which is why he is unable to control the sword. At this point, they both decide to take Arthur to the Darklands so that they can help him remember his past and enable him to control the sword. After making this decision, they send Arthur to the Darklands, where he must place Excalibur in the Mage Tower. On the way, Arthur has to fight several monsters, but eventually, when he reaches the Mage Tower and places the sword, Excalibur shows him his past in full force. In the past, Arthur sees that Vortigern sacrificed his wife to transform himself into a dark knight, which allowed him to fight Uther. To protect Excalibur, Uther throws it into the air, but it comes back and hits him, leading to his death. We learn that once Excalibur enters something, only its master or its descendant, in this case, Uther's son, can remove it. And since Arthur was still alive, Vortigern couldn't take it out. We also see Uther turn into stone and fall into water, causing the sword to be lost from Vortigern's hands. After learning about his past, Arthur becomes capable of wielding Excalibur, though he still cannot harness its full power. On the way back from the Darklands, Bedivere and Mage tell Arthur the full story, how once mages and humans lived in peace, but Vortigern started the war because he wanted to become king. To start the war, he collaborated with Mordred and provoked him to kill the Mage King and take the staff to seize all magical powers.